All right. Hello, everyone. Good evening. My name is Nicole, and I'm your tutor for today. Welcome to our English class. I am so happy to see you all here today after such a long time. No? But anyway, it's another week. So let's get started. To get us started, let's just take a quick moment to settle in. You can grab a drink, get comfortable, and of course, get ready to learn some English with me. No pressure at all. Just relax and let's have a good time together. All right. Again, everyone, welcome back. It's so great to see all your bright faces again. You all did such an incredible job mastering all the topics that we've discussed in the previous weeks. That was truly challenging but rewarding topics, and you handled it like pros. Anyway, we are shifting gears a little bit, but we're moving into something incredibly practical and exciting. As you can see on your screen, it will be about conversational English. Now, this is not just about grammar rules or vocabulary lists, it's about how we actually use English in the real world. Okay? It's more on the application part. So it could be in everyday chats and in all those moments where you are just, talking with people. So it's about making your English sound natural, making your English sound friendly and truly connected to the way English native speakers communicate. Now, for our very first lesson in conversational English, we're going to tackle something super important: introductions. Think about it. Every single conversation you have, especially when meeting new people, almost always starts with an introduction, right? So, what does introductions mean? Now, as we understand it, introductions is about how we meet new people and how we tell them about ourselves. It's also about how we ask others about themselves. So imagine you meet someone new, maybe at work or at a party or even online. What's the first thing you say? How do you start talking? So that is what introductions is all about. It is about starting a conversation when you don't know someone yet, especially. So this is super important for conversational English, which means learning to talk in English in everyday situations. So this is our first lesson or lecture 1 in conversational English. We'll learn very basic and useful phrases that you can use right away. Look at the pictures on the slide. You see people talking, right? They are smiling. They are gesturing with their hands, just like what I'm doing right now. This shows that they are having a conversation. They may be meeting each other for the first time, or maybe they're an acquaintance and they're just saying hello. So, this is exactly what we will practice today. We will learn how to say hello, how to say your name properly, and how to ask for someone else's name in a friendly way, in a proper, appropriate way. Think about the last time you met someone new, perhaps someone who speaks English. Did you feel a little bit shy or unsure what to say? That's totally normal. Don't worry. Today, we're going to learn some simple ways to make those introductions much easier and more comfortable for you. We'll focus on words and phrases that are polite and, of course, easy for you to remember so that you can really use it in real life. So, get ready to learn some very useful sentences that you can use to start talking with new people in English. No need to worry, we'll go step by step. Okay, let's move on to the next part where we'll look at the first simple phrases we can use. But before that, uh, okay, lesson goals. Now that we've set the stage for our exciting new topic, let's take a look at what we are aiming to achieve by the end of the lesson today. These are our lesson goals, basically what you'll be able to confidently do by the time we finish our discussion, hopefully, on introductions. Take a look at the screen. Our goals for today are: use basic greetings and introduction phrases. So, this means you will learn and feel comfortable using simple, common ways to say hello. And of course, start talking when you meet someone new. So, we'll cover those go to phrases that or every day and everyone uses in everyday English. Second, Respond politely and naturally to personal questions. When you are introducing yourself, people might ask you things like, where are you from? Or what do you do? So, this goal is about learning how to answer those questions in a friendly, polite way that sounds just like a natural English speaker. And lastly, third, introduce yourself. This is a big one. By the end of this lesson, you should feel confident to tell someone your name, maybe where you are from, and a little bit about yourself, all in a smooth and natural way. Now, these goals are very practical, and of course, mastering them will make a huge difference in how comfortable you feel starting conversations in English. We'll go through each of these step by step with lots of examples and practice. Okay, let's begin. All right, everyone. Okay, please read the words on the slide with me or just listen as I read them out loud. It's a common situation that many of us might experience or had experienced already. It says here, you're attending a seminar. It is the coffee break. You're near the refreshment table and notice someone standing beside you. You both look at the pastries. And it feels like the right time to start a conversation. What do you say? Let's imagine this together. You are at a seminar, maybe a class or a meeting, and it's time for a short break, of course, a health break. You go to get some coffee or maybe tea, and of course, maybe some snacks like pastries, as mentioned there. So you're standing next to someone you don't know. And you both look at the delicious food and it feels like a good moment to say something, right? So you want to be friendly and maybe start talking to this new person. So think about this situation. What is the very first thing you would say? What simple word or phrase comes to mind when you want to be friendly and open a conversation with a new person? Maybe you would say hello or maybe hi there, right? Or maybe something about the pastries like, wow, these look delicious. Or just think about it for a moment. What would your natural reaction be? So you can type a greeting you have used with someone you met for the first time. Okay? This is a chance for you to share. If you feel comfortable, you can just you can type just one or two words in the chat box if you like. So, what's a simple greeting you already know or have used? Remember, there's no right or wrong answer here. This is just to get us thinking and to see what ideas you already have. If you don't want to type anything, that's perfectly fine too. Just thinking about it in your head is great practice. So, this kind of scenario is very common in English speaking countries, or not just in English speaking countries, in every country. Okay? It is how people often start conversations with strangers in a casual, friendly way. It is not formal, it is just about connecting with another person. So take a moment to consider what you would say. And, if you would like to share, feel free to type it. No pressure at all, as I've mentioned earlier. Okay? I'm going to give you time. Okay, great. If you thought of something, that is fantastic. If you're still thinking, no problem at all. These kinds of situations can feel a bit new when you're learning a language. To give you some ideas, here are some things you could say in that situation. Oh, I've already shown it to you. But yeah, anyway, these are just some sample responses, and there are many good ways to start a conversation. Excuse me for a moment. Sorry for that. Let me continue. Anyway, here are some sample phrases. You could say something like first, of course, you can introduce yourself like saying, "Hi, I'm Nicole. Mind if I join you?" Excuse me. I am so sorry for that. Anyway, let's go back. Hi, I'm Nicole. Mind if I join you? This is let me say, very direct and friendly at the same time. You introduce yourself right away and ask if it is okay to stand nearby or to talk to that person. Or if not that, we can say, "Hey, are you enjoying the seminar so far?" So this is a nice way also to start because you ask a question related to the situation that you are both in. So it's easy for the other person to answer. Another simple option could be, "Hello, how are you? This look good, don't they?" So this is about the pastries, a common thing you both see, which was emphasized in the situation. It was a very natural, it's a very natural way to make an observation and, of course, invite a comment. See, these are all simple ways to open a conversation. They are friendly and, of course, easy to understand. Now, we'll learn more about these types of phrases in detail very soon. We'll use this scenario to understand why learning basic greetings is so important. When we move to the next slide, we will look at some common ways to say hello in English. Okay, these are saying hello in different ways. We have standard and polite, friendly and casual, warm and welcoming, and lastly on the phone or online. Of course, we're going to start with standard and polite. This means these are the greetings that are always good to use. They are appropriate for almost any situation you might find yourself in. And of course, they always show good manners and respect. Now, you can use this with anyone, whether it's someone you meet for the first time, your boss, someone much older than you, or even just a new neighbor. They are, versatile, they are safe, and always give a good first impression. So let's go through each one very carefully, and I'll give you a bit more detail and some examples of when you might use them. These are just very common ones. We'll go to the complex ones later on. Okay? We'll build first on the basic greetings. Let's first have hello. Well, this is without a doubt the most common and universal greeting in the English language. It is incredibly simple, very clear, and extremely flexible. So you can use hello at any time of day, morning, afternoon, or even evening, and with absolutely anyone. It works perfectly in formal situations, like if you're attending an important business meeting or speaking to a professional like a doctor or a government official. So that's hello. It also works wonderfully in informal settings, like when you bump into a friend at the supermarket or you try to answer a phone. So it's a great go-to word when you're unsure what else to say because it's always correct. For example, if you walk into a store, you can just look at the cashier and say hello. Or if someone calls you on the phone, the first thing you might say is hello. It is a fundamental word. Let's try saying it together. Quietly, wherever you are. Practice pronouncing it clearly. Hello. Again, hello. Excuse me for a moment. Okay, I'm back. I'm so sorry for that. I have a cold. But anyway, okay, let's continue. Again, this is hello. Next we see is hi still. It's this is also without a doubt the most common and universal greeting in the English language. Though it is just a slightly more informal version of hello, but it's still very standard and polite in many, many everyday situations, especially in casual settings among people who are comfortable with each other or just being friendly. You'll hear native English speakers say hi all the time. It's very warm and friendly. So you might use hi when you see your friends, your colleagues at work, or people you see often. So just like um yeah, people you see often. I'm sorry for that. So it's perfect for starting a relaxed, easy conversation. Just like in our seminar coffee break example earlier, If you saw someone you wanted to chat with, a simple hi would be perfect and friendly way to start. It feels a bit less formal than hello, but it's totally fine for most everyday interactions. Again, let's try saying it quietly in your own comfortable spaces there. Hi, hi. And of course, you can continue it. You can include it with something. You can add it with another word, phrase, or even a long sentence. But of course, you will start with hi. Okay? See how quick and friendly it sounds. Now, let's talk about the greetings that change depending on the time of the day. These are very important for sounding natural and showing awareness of the time. Of course, we have good morning. We use good morning from the moment we wake up in the morning until around 12 noon, which is midday. So if the sun is up and it's before lunchtime, this is the polite and correct thing to say. For example, if you are leaving your home to go to work or school and you meet your neighbor outside, you would say good morning. If you enter your office and see your co-workers, you would say good morning, everyone. And it's a really nice way to acknowledge the start of the day and wish someone well for the morning. It sets a positive tone for the beginning of your interactions. Then there's good afternoon. We use good afternoon from 12 noon, right after good morning finishes, and we continue using it until around 6 p.m. or when the evening starts to set in. So if you are meeting someone after you have had your lunch or in the middle of the workday, this is the appropriate greeting to use. For instance, um, if you have a meeting at 2 p.m., you would start by saying, "Good afternoon, everyone. Our meeting for today is blah, 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 blah." Or if you see someone at a park in the late afternoon, you can politely say, "Good afternoon." Or, it's important to remember this transition from morning to afternoon at midday. And finally, we have good evening. We use good evening from about 6 p.m. onwards, and we continue using it throughout the night. Even if it's quite late, like 9 p.m., 10 p.m., or even 11 p.m., good evening is still the correct greeting when you first meet or see someone. It is a polite and formal enough greeting for any evening encounter, whether you are at a restaurant, attending a concert, or visiting someone's home. For example, if you go to a restaurant for dinner, the staff might greet you at the door by saying, "Good evening, welcome." It's always a welcoming and respectful way to address someone in the evening. Okay? So these five phrases, hello, hi, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, they are your absolute basic and essential tools for um saying hello in different ways in English. They are your first step to feeling much more comfortable and, of course, confident when you meet new people or start a conversation. They show that you are polite, that you're aware of the time, and that you are ready to communicate. I highly encourage you to practice saying them to yourself throughout your day. So when you wake up, you can say good morning to yourself or to your family. Or when you see someone at midday, try to remember to think good afternoon. The more you say them, even just in your head or quietly out loud, the more natural and automatic they will feel when you need to use them in a real conversation. Repetition is a key here. Okay. And of course, good practice. Any questions about these basic greetings? You can comment it in our chat box. No worries at all if not. We can always revisit things later. Okay? Just know that these are your foundation. Let's move on to the next slide where we'll look at some, slightly less formal and more casual ways to greet people. Let's see. Okay, we have friendly and casual. Okay, let's keep going with our lesson. We just spent a lot of time on the standard and polite ways to say hello, which are always safe and good to use. Now we're going to step into a slightly different area, looking at greetings that are more relaxed, more comfortable, and typically used with people you know well, like friends or family. So, learning these will really help your English sound more natural. Okay, like a native speaker. So, pay close attention to the situations I describe for each one. For a moment. Sorry. Okay, so sorry for that. Yeah, friendly and casual. Here it comes. Okay. Please take a careful look at this slide. At the top, we still have say hello in different ways, but below that, in big red letters, it clearly says friendly and casual. Now, this is a very important distinction. Casual means informal, easygoing, not strict, relaxed. So, these greetings are perfect for moments when you are very comfortable with the person you are talking to. You would usually not use these when with someone like your boss in a formal meeting, or a new client, or a very important person you just met, unless you are absolutely sure of the situation and your relationship with them. But with your friends, your family members, or even colleagues, act with every day in a relaxed environment. So these are absolutely excellent and will make you sound very natural and friendly. Okay? So the different phrases are hey, hi there, hey, what's up? Yo, how is it going? Hey, how are you? These are the different phrases that are considered as friendly and casual. Okay, I'm sorry, battery is low. Anyway, this is it for me for the test run. I hope everything's good. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining me today. We've reached the end of our lecture series on the first part, the first part of lecture on conversational English, which was on introductions. I know we covered a lot of information today, from being friendly and approachable to knowing when to end a conversation and everything in between. Well, you have all been given a fantastic toolkit to help you become more confident and effective communicators. Okay. Thank you for Thank you all again for your time and participation. You've been a great listeners. Good night, everyone.